Hello classy people, this is Josh for the Top Hat Gamer, and this week I'm reviewing Inside. You can't talk about indie darlings without someone bringing up Limbo, the inaugural title from Playdead, which left an impression on the many who played it with its unique style and finely tuned gameplay. Now that Playdead's second title, Inside, is finally released, it's time to check it out. It's incredibly hard to talk about the details of Inside without giving far too much away, so I'll be mindful to say all that I need to and nothing more. In a similar fashion, the game itself doesn't tell you much more than is necessary, and leaves much of its actual plot up to interpretation. When the game joins your character, it's clear that they're on the run, but from who or why remains a mystery. Before long it becomes clear that the entire world of Inside is inhospitable at best, and downright terrifying at its worst. Inside never spells anything out for you, rather choosing to use visual elements and detailed environments to guide your interpretation of its dystopia. The game's grave tone is made far stronger by its commentary on various grim themes including conformity, slavery, and control, making for a truly unsettling experience from start to end. Subtext aside, much of Inside's somber tone is thanks to a muted visual style that, while not quite as striking as Limbo, achieves a unique and consistent feel for the duration. The game's use of sparse colour and featureless character models paints a hopeless dystopia, but it must be said that Inside's silky smooth animations add so much personality to the various entities you'll come across, including the game's scared, escapee protagonist. Much of Inside's tense presence is communicated through the mostly ambient soundtrack, your lonely escape emphasized by the creaking of empty warehouses and the echoes of footsteps in run-down, flooded halls. There are brief instances where your ears will be enveloped by an almost angelic chorus of synth, making for some strangely peaceful moments and providing a good break from the otherwise oppressive tone. Inside shares many elements of its design with Playdead's previous release Limbo. Not only do the two games share a dark, depressing tone, but Inside's gameplay is similarly comprised of mechanically tight puzzle platforming. Despite the game's simplistic inputs, there are some really brilliantly designed puzzles on offer. Sure, you may start by pushing crates around to create makeshift staircases, but as you progress, Inside provides deeper challenges that require strict timing and lateral thinking to conquer. The steady increase in difficulty keeps Inside's gameplay from feeling too daunting, and although it introduces plenty of mechanics and ideas to keep you on your toes, the game very rarely repeats a puzzle concept. Certain mechanics such as the body control helmet get a fair amount of play as you manipulate entire groups of lifeless drones in various situations, but the core idea behind most puzzles is generally unique. Certain puzzles are seen only once and never repeated, making for some thoroughly memorable sequences such as a tense follow the leader scenario where you're forced to hide in plain sight to avoid arousing suspicion. On the off chance that the puzzles do begin to wear you down, Inside throws in the occasional chase sequence to spice things up. These sequences serve to inject some adrenaline into the mix, as they're incredibly terrifying, mostly thanks to the fact that you'll never escape your hunters by a comfortable margin. Even if you're performing perfectly, a grisly death will be mere inches behind you. There are also some stealth elements to keep the gameplay feeling varied. These usually aren't any more complex than simply avoiding a light, but they're effective at raising the tension of Inside's already stressful atmosphere. Inside doesn't often stray from the puzzle platforming core though, and the game can be rather short as a result. I wouldn't call this a criticism, however, as it's refreshing to play a game that manages to end before it wears out its welcome, and it'd be hard to stretch the key elements any further without diluting the satisfyingly simple yet challenging experience we have. In addition to being quite timely, I found that the ending was a brilliant climax that managed to be empowering and incredibly disturbing all at the same time. To say any more about it would spoil the fun, but suffice it to say, the steady pace of the game leads up to something truly special. At the end of the day, Inside is easily one of the best puzzle platformers I've played in years. Tight, simple controls allow the game to focus its attention on making the puzzles difficult instead of the input. Alongside the masterful gameplay design, Inside presents us with an irrefutably creepy atmosphere, aided by its muted visuals and lonely sound design, making sure that it leaves an impression no matter what. Inside gets the Top Hat Gamer rating of excellent. Inside is unquestionably memorable, thanks to its fantastic gameplay and horrific tone, making it ideal for anyone into puzzle platformers or unsettling atmospheres. Basically, if you enjoyed Limbo, you'll probably get into Inside, but even so, it's a far different beast than you could ever expect. Thanks for watching. I hope you found the review informative. If you missed last week's review on Mighty No. 9, or my video on top 10 overhyped video games, click the annotations. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go and reflect on Inside a bit more, because seriously, this is a creepy game.